Yeah, I think resilience is what comes to my mind when thinking about this team and the game today. The first half, we looked really disheveled, didn't look like us. I thought we looked like we weren't seeing the open person, and they're really an unselfish team, but we didn't look like that in the first half. Moved toward the second half, we rebounded the ball so much better. We had so many sparks off the bench, JT being one of them. And I'm telling you, this kid works her butt off every day in practice. A lot of times she ends up being on the scout team, having to play scout team. And her being ready, it just should send a message to all kids out there playing basketball that be ready, stay ready when your number's called, good things happen.
Thanks, Coach. We'll now open the floor for questions. And again, please raise your hand if you'd like a mic brought to you. We're going to start here in the front center.
Skip Foreman with the News and Record of Greensboro. Coach, this is a potential 5-day run for you if you can get to the championship game. And your first game takes you all 40 minutes. First question, do you think about the stamina/fatigue factor, and conversely, what does it do for your morale because you were 19 in the hole and you fought back and won?
Right. A couple of things. One, it's tournament time. I don't know that anybody gets tired in tournament time, right? You got your adrenaline flowing. It's a 40-minute basketball game. You got a lot of timeouts. You got a lot of dead balls. We also, as much as we had to fight in that game, we had a couple of players that had to play a lot of the game, but a lot of players got to get in and out of that game as well. So, I'm never going to say an excuse for not playing well is fatigue, because adrenaline flows, basketball players are players, and they're going to be ready as far as energy goes.
Go ahead in the center, please.
I like the sound of that 5 games.
Tyler Aiken from Citrus TV. Coach, obviously execution in the second half was a lot better, but what was the biggest schematic adjustment you made at halftime?
I think, I don't even know if I made the adjustment. I think we just stuck to what we went in, and that was really on the defensive boards, right? We started to block out a lot better. I thought we stuck to the game plan offensively, where at the beginning, that's what we said, we looked like it was pickup basketball, like we were just running and gunning, where in the second half we kind of settled down and ran some offense. But, that's a credit to the players. At the end of the day, when they come out ready to play, especially this team that we have here at BC, I know that they're going to do good things, but they always got to stick 5 together as one when they're out there on the floor.
Let's go to our left. And Coach, I'm going to have you talk a little bit more in the mic, please.
Marissa Sisk, her hoop stats, just 2 things. It looked like Dontavia took a hit to the face. Do you know what's going on with her?
I think where she fell, there's a crack in the floor, but I think her head will be all right.
And then she came 8 points shy of single-handedly outscoring Syracuse in the second half. What did you kind of see from her? And obviously this is kind of her last go-round.
I think that's what you saw, a young lady that was inspired because she was going to refuse to lose, because this is her last go-around. And, she stayed at Boston College. She stuck it out with us, and she wants to be a difference maker, and today she certainly was.
We'll go in the front again, and then next here to our right.
Hey, Coach. Brendan Potts, World Exposure Report. 7:40 in the third quarter. A big 3 was made. How big of a three-pointer was that, especially with 0 made 3s in the first half? And how did your players kind of build off of that momentum to win this game?
Right, to your point, any shot that went in, we were pretty fired up about, because it seemed like the lid was on the basket for us a little bit. And even our putbacks in that first half especially, it was like every time we grabbed some offensive boards, like we had, I think, 0 second chance points to their 15 second chance points at the half. So I think any good play offensively or defensively, this team was just waiting for their adrenaline to get going. And I hope tomorrow we start out the game with our adrenaline already flowing.
We're going to go second row on the right here first, and then second row on the left, if we can get a mic ready there as well.
Noah Nussbaum, Daily Orange. Coach, you were able to stop Syracuse in the paint in the second half. Just what was going well on defense in the second?
Yeah, I just think that was like a stick-to-itiveness, gritty thing. I mean, whenever you're playing post defense, when you're tall enough to defend, and I thought they might have had a little bit of a size advantage on it, but it wasn't a huge size advantage. I think it was just being gritty and, fronting and using your muscle when the person that needed to be in help side was there. But also, that's one thing with Syracuse. They have those good shooters. that you got to try to get in help side, but then you also got to get out on the shooter. And in the first half, I just thought we missed out on that. I call it dancing in the help side, where you are in help and then you can also get out to the three. And we missed those opportunities in the first half, but in the second half, I thought we were there.
Go ahead here on the left, and then if we can get a mic in the center front.
Luke Burgess, Z89. Coach, I thought there were a lot of turnovers in this game on both sides of the ball, and you kind of just spoke about the grittiness on defense that you saw the whole way through. But one of the few categories Syracuse ended up better than you guys in was points off turnovers. How do you guys want to try and do a better job of capitalizing if you can force the same number tomorrow? Because like you talked about, the defense is great.
Yeah, I think capitalizing on, we talk about this all the time, making bunnies. We work and we take a lot of pride in the way we run our transition, but I think we've just got to get back to having a little bit of confidence in it and finishing at the end of a nice steal or something like that when we're going in transition. And I do think our threes are going to fall, I hope.
Go back in the front center.
I'm going to ask you a question.
Skip Foreman from the News and Record again. Jacayla,
Yes.
give your impression of this game, this comeback, and the question I had for Coach. This is a potential 5-day run for you. What's your energy like? What's your mentality like right now?
Yeah, I feel like coming into the locker room at halftime, we just really got into it with each other and just told each other we have to win this game. There's no way we're going to go out like this, just being down so much at halftime. So we just had a will to win, and I feel like we came out at halftime and really punched them in the mouth.
Any more questions in the room?
Max Gifford with Z89. Coach or Kayla, you can both answer to this. Just, you mentioned that halftime locker room atmosphere. What does being here and still being alive in the ACC tournament mean to your squad and mean to a lot of the seniors and grad students on your squad as well?
For me, I feel like we're supposed to be here. A lot of people counted us out, and when you count us out, it just gives us more energy to want to go out there and play hard every day and just prove people wrong.
Yeah, I agree. I think also having that opportunity to kind of redeem ourselves, and we didn't look like the team that was trying to redeem ourselves in that first half. But I think what JT was saying, it wasn't necessarily me going in the locker room and going crazy. It was them before I even walked in the locker room already trying to hold themselves accountable and say, hey, this is the ACC tournament. This is what we worked all year for. Let's get our act together. And they really did a great job of doing that in the second half.
Lindsay Gibbs with Power Plays. Just for both of you, thoughts on tomorrow's big matchup against UNC. And it sounds like you are hopeful that Wagner will be able to play. Is that official?
Yeah, I mean, I can't really speak, but I hope she's able to play, of course. And I think we're really excited to advance, and that's the thing. It's in tournament time, it's one game at a time. So now we're going to set all of our focus and efforts toward what we need to do to give UNC a better game than we did the first time we played them this year.
We'll take a couple questions from Zoom. Sebi, if you want to go ahead.
Sure. Coach, do you think playing Syracuse back-to-back came as an advantage for you guys today?
Could you repeat that?
Can you repeat that, Sebi?
Would you say playing Syracuse back-to-back came as an advantage for you guys today?
Yeah, for sure. I think that because we just had all of that very bitter taste in our mouth from the last time we played them on Sunday, it kind of, I think, fueled us to where there was no doubt I didn't have to go in at halftime and fire anybody up. They were fired up because they knew that second opportunities in life don't always happen very often, and we had one today, so I'm glad we took advantage of it.
Dan on Zoom as well.
For both Coach and Jacayla, you mentioned just the practicing on the scout team or getting ready and developing on the scout team throughout the season. For both of you on a player like Jacayla, how does that kind of develop to get her ready for this moment and be able to hit that shot and play to those roles that you need her to down the stretch here in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, I feel like it's just a confidence builder, being in practice and going through all those reps in game and then coming out and playing and just being ready and staying ready to knock down that shot.
And I think it just says a lot to JT's character and the type of person she is. You know, she's never on scout team and practice and mad about it. She understands like that's where we really have needed her this year. And when her number was called, she was absolutely ready. And, you know, as a coach, that just is such a good feeling to see a player get to have her time and shine like she did.
Do we have any final questions? Go in the front again.
And for the record, Coach, what is Dontavia's status for tomorrow and what happened today? I know you mentioned the crack in the floor. Did she hit her head or is something else?
No, I think she hit her head. I don't know what the status is yet because we kind of got in here right as, you know, she was still back with the trainer. So we'll see. We're all praying that she's okay, though.
Anything else for Boston College?
Thank you, guys.
Okay, thank you all. Congrats on the win. Is anyone planning to go to the Boston College locker room?